Welcome to another edition of Our City. I hope everyone's summer is going well. And today, Tuesday, August 6th at 6 o'clock, I'm going to join residents from the City of Elizabeth, and we're going to celebrate the 36th Annual National Night Out. This event will feature health, safety, security exhibits, refreshments, games, demonstrations, citizen awards, raffles, music, and much more. It's going to take place in Carteret Park, located in the 2nd Ward of our city, on the intersection of Elmore Avenue and Murray and Vine Streets. In addition to the celebration, I'm also going to present a proclamation declaring August as Baseball Month in order to raise awareness about our nation's favorite pastime. Because later on that month, we're going to have Play Ball event. We'll talk about that later in the program. Immediately following this event at 8:30, a free family fun movie in the park will also be shown in Carteret Park. And on Wednesday, August 7th at 6 o'clock, members of the Dominican community and other Elizabeth residents will hoist the Dominican flag outside of City Hall 50 Winfield Scott Plaza. And on Thursday, August 8th at 4 o'clock, I'm going to join members of the Ecuadorian community, and the Ecuadorian flag celebrating their independence will be raised outside of City Hall at 50 Winfield Scott Plaza. And on Friday, August 9th at 12:30, our special needs program at the summer program at the George Washington School on Broadway will come to a close for the summer, and those special needs children will rejoin us in October for a fall program. And at 12:30, I'm going to wish them all well. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call the Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And the Play Ball event we'll talk about on next week's show is going to be on August 15th. So please stay with us. I'm now pleased to be joined by Mr. Gordon Haas of the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce and Ms. Jennifer Costa, the Director of Elizabeth Destination Marketing Organization. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor. Nice to be here.
Good to see you all again.
Good to see you too, as
Great
always.
to be back.
Good?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Jennifer, you've been on. Gordon, you've been on.
Yeah.
I guess there's no reason to talk about our backgrounds, right? We got,
By now, hopefully people know who we are.
Yeah, I figured they might. I mean, you're still with the Chamber of Commerce,
Yes,
with
sir.
the Executive Director, right?
The CEO.
Oh, so we changed titles.
We changed titles.
Yeah, it
yes.
makes it easier now. Jennifer, how's Edmo going?
Wonderful. We're busy as ever.
Yeah.
Our tourism initiative is definitely off the ground, and we're being looked at as one of top emerging destinations in America, just outside New
I
York.
know, I keep reading the blips you send me, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's not even us talking
I know.
about it. We have different
We were in the Star
publications.
Ledger on Sunday
Yes, we
Yeah.
were.
About the Hamilton things, and then they said keep in mind Snyder Academy
That's
in
right.
Elizabeth is one of, I think
Boxwood.
they called it Hamilton's haunts.
Yes, Boxwood Hall as well, and
Right.
Liberty Hall, our next door neighbor, which we promote greatly.
Which was in Elizabeth
Yeah.
up until 1868.
Oh yes, it was
so-
Elizabethtown.
Right.
That's why we adopted it.
So go ahead and tell us about the Chamber. I mean, you started 22 years ago, is it?
It'll be 23 years at the end of this year. Yeah.
I know, we had no members.
We had no members. We had no staff. And today we are in the top 20 of chambers of the state of New Jersey. So we've come a long way, and it's an exciting organization. We have coming up in this month, believe next Wednesday, the 14th of August, we're going to be at a new restaurant here in town called LOL Restaurant down on Front Street and Elizabeth Avenue, and do our business after hours from 5 to 7:30. And they've been very successful. We draw anywhere from 70 to 100 business people in there, lots of networking, card exchanges. We actually draw names out of a hat at one point and have people give their 30-second elevator speech, so they become the focus. If somebody needs that kind of business, it's great.
I love the term elevator speech, by the way.
It is. Well, I didn't make it up, but that's what they call it. And every business person should have an elevator speech, because they should be able to say in 30 seconds to a minute exactly what they do for a living, so that when you get somebody in an elevator, you can hand
Tell
it
them
to
what you
them.
do.
In addition, the Chamber, the annual dinner cruise is coming up. This year it's on September 11th. We've done that before in the past. There's a special meeting when we go out on September 11th, and we have the opportunity to see the tribute in lights on that night, which is, for those of us who've gone out before on that night, it's very impressive to see.
We've been out there before in September
Yeah,
11th.
we
So
have.
Jennifer, Edmo is a offshoot, hotel tax of the
Absolutely.
Chamber of Commerce. Tell us what the Elizabeth Destination Marketing Organization is all about?
So more recently, we're advertising Elizabeth as a destination just outside of New York City. Some of our projects entail the new partnership with the Port Authority. We are now visible in the terminals. We have the great survival layover guide that you have and can see in front. It's located at all the terminals in addition to all of our marketing material. And starting this morning, we are in the process of training 200 of their ACEs, their volunteers. So this way, when people have layovers or looking for things to do within the area, they're now personally going to know about Elizabeth.
Jen was at the airport this morning at 5:30 training a group of people.
At their roll calls.
Is the sun up at 5:30 in the morning?
No, this time it was just about.
Oh, just about, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we're also working with tourism ambassadors. We're having a local voice with some of our residents, and we're getting them to start talking about tourism. You're going to be meeting them shortly.
They're going to be on the second part of the show.
Correct. And then on the third portion is going to be the great addition to our attractions, and that's the Atlantis. So the Atlantis charter vessel from the Elizabeth Waterfront Marina is coming back.
Let's hopefully that's.
It's confirmed.
This is confirmed. You'll meet the gentleman who's
Owner of the vessel.
Owner of the vessel, and he's going to be starting to do dinner cruises from here and to charter events from here. Hopefully next year the chamber might actually use them. We're committed this year to cornucopia, but if the vessel can hold the crowd, we're hoping that it would move to that new vessel.
So the cornucopia, once again, is going to be here September 11th.
September 11th.
Sold out yet, Gordon?
We're more than halfway there, which is important. Obviously, we also, if any of our members are interested in sponsorships are still available. The invitations will be going out very shortly with the names of the sponsors that we had on July 31st. As advertised every year, but I'm sure we will sell out again. It's a very successful event.
I know. Going around the Statue of Liberty never gets old.
No, not at
there,
all.
And we have visitors coming from Japan in October,
right?
And we're going to do that. Bring them out there as well.
So we can use the Atlantis if you want to take
might
them
have
out
to do
there.
that.
Right, exactly.
So Jennifer, you mentioned before about visibility of tourism at North Liberty International Airport.
Yeah.
It's just starting. How many people do you think, is there a way to measure it, and how many people are actually coming to Elizabeth?
We're actually in the process of doing a feasibility study in terms of measuring where we are. So we hope to deliver that in 2020.
Right.
But we're contracting for actual research to give us some quantitative numbers.
So I've been involved in a lot in the years I've been the mayor. And I have to tell you, having Elizabeth as a tourist attraction is something that I did not ever envision. I think it's absolutely terrific for the city, but it's not something I envisioned. So tell me, it's not only historical.
No.
It's a culmination of everything.
Talk about the event we had in the beginning of July and how many people came as a result of that.
Yep, so we hosted one flag football event. It was a New Jersey State tournament. There were people that came as far as Hawaii, teams that flew in from Florida. We had about 2,000 people at the Todd Bowles Sports Complex that never were in Elizabeth before. They loved it so much, they're coming back to us in 2020.
And plus they book hotel rooms.
Oh, tons of them. The hotels were thrilled.
Right.
And so we look forward to delivering larger events, focusing right now on sporting events, because that seems to be something that's working for us. But it's something to get our name out there. And we're so close to New York with the international airport. We have phenomenal restaurants, good nightlife, amazing history as well. And so we have what every other tourist destination has. We're just now privileged to tell the story.
And we're marketing it.
That's
nice
it.
shirt there.
That's
Look at
it.
the shirt.
Thank you.
How about that? It
We're
all
working.
starts here.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. We're working on merchandising, and that'll
Right.
be coming soon as well.
Well, Gordon, Jennifer, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show. We're doing 3 10-minute breaks on this show. We're going to bring in, I think, Javier Colon, who's an ambassador.
Yep.
And
Ron Orr as well.
And they're talking about their role in marketing Elizabeth.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Please stay with us after these messages, back with more about tourism in the city of Elizabeth. Welcome back to our city. This week's show has been centered on tourism in the city of Elizabeth through the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce And for the second segment of the show, I'm pleased to be joined by two ambassadors, Mr. Javier Colon and Mr. Ronald Orr. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man.
So first of all, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? You want to start with you, Javier?
Sure.
Yeah, I know you're an Elizabeth kid, born and raised, so.
Absolutely. In fact, I was just thinking about it. I lived in North End since 1969, but my dad, during the Korean War, after, he came here. So we've been in Elizabeth, I'm going to be 62 years.
Well, we met when we were kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really, it was 1969. The Mets won the championship.
Yeah.
And I remember moving up on Walnut Street. And we used to go to Kellogg's Park to play basketball and things like that. So that's where I met you. Yeah, absolutely. Long time ago.
I know. And Ron, you've been an Elizabeth guy.
All my life,
I
man.
know. So the
Played
two of you,
sports,
yeah.
played
Sports.
basketball,
I know.
graduated and went to college, retired as a North Public School administrator, but also did 10 years working for Elizabeth. So my heart and soul is in Elizabeth. It has sentimental value to me, and I'm glad to be here.
So tell us about the ambassador program and what made you two guys sign up. We went with Javier first, and the last one, we'll go with you this time, Ron.
Well, it was a great opportunity to learn more about my city, learn the insides and outs of Elizabeth, what it had to offer. And I learned so much. Like, I thought I knew Elizabeth. I didn't know it until I learned all the historical sites, all the monuments.
That's an interesting statement you just made.
What?
You grew up here. I thought I knew Elizabeth,
Yes.
but I didn't.
All the monuments, statues, 1700s, all the historical sites we have here, and the restaurants and the culture. And I thought I knew it all, but evidently I didn't. So this was a great chance for me to become an explorer, a journeyman, learn your city better. You know, everyone thinks they know Elizabeth, but when you get to the Snyder Academy, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about other sites and things of that nature. And when I became an ambassador, it was an opportunity to learn more about my city.
So Javier, tell me what you think of, and why did you become an ambassador?
Well, first of all, I've been here all my life. I think it's great. Like you said, I thought I knew Elizabeth, that I really didn't. Once you start looking and doing your research, there's so many things that have happened here. And seeing it grow, because I remember when, you could go to certain parts of Elizabeth and you get this kind of food, or you go here. So it's kind of like separated a little bit, where now it's all together and all these things are still here and growing. So I think it's a great city. You could come and you can really have a good time, whether it's food, whether it's entertainment, whatever. I think Elizabeth is just great.
So the ambassador program is under the Chamber of Commerce and the Edmo Group, and there's a lot more than just the two of you.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
And so are you interacting with the other ambassadors as well?
Well, I want to thank Alonzo Jones, first of all, who introduced me to the opportunity. Alonzo spreads the word. We got Ms. Dixon, we got Rod Spearman, we have a few other people that I can't name off the top of my head, Ms. Muhammad, and you know the people too. And it was a great opportunity to learn about my friends, the people who live here and who want to contribute.
So you two grew up here as boys, right?
Right.
You started off as really young. Mm-hmm. And did you ever think, Elizabeth, growing up as a boy here in Elizabeth, that you would be tourism ambassadors? What do you think of that title? I mean, I'm still getting a kick, Ron, at a tourism in Elizabeth.
Okay.
And I grew up here as a boy, so I'm trying to figure out what you two guys think.
Well, I guess like Christopher Columbus, you discover a new world. I'm discovering a new world, and believe it or not, really, we are discovering a new world. Elizabeth is, as the kids would say, it's the bomb. It has a lot to give. It has a lot. It's almost like a little Mecca in its own world, because it's close to everywhere. It's in the center. It's like a center attraction to me.
I know. So Javier, same thing. We grew up here as little kids.
I never thought that I would be here that long, but I like it here. In fact, I have people go, "You stay in Elizabeth so long." I said, "I'm comfortable. I walk down the street. I know almost every policeman. I see the mayor. I can say hello. It's not cold. It's not divided. So just being here, it's very, very comfortable. And I'm glad I raised my kids here."
So tell me about a role that you two of you might have had so far in the ambassador role in describing Elizabeth. Tell us about something you've done with some group or somebody right now.
Well, going to the mall, and we got to meet people coming from Europe, and Germany, France. We got to mingle with them. We got to learn their culture. We got to learn about them and tell them about our city and our town and what we offer here. And also the bike tour, what we do here. Exposure. It's all about exposure. So being here and giving that opportunity, we're letting people know that Elizabeth has a lot to offer.
So Javier, Ron talked about the mall. We have thousands of people every year come from all over the world. And
Absolutely.
you were interacting with them as well?
Absolutely. And one thing that I really like, we had the grand opening with the Port Authority, and we had the gathering, and they were doing the, what do you call it, the ribbon cutting ceremony. You were there. And what I was really impressed with, the amount of people that were there, the fact that they're going to be here, that they're doing so much at the airport and they're offering jobs. I was kind of touched, and I'll tell you why. Because I thought it was just, a lot of dignitaries, but they actually had people there people would come off the street and were looking for jobs, and I figured I was in the front, and I'm saying, is this the time for this? But they were ready for that. They actually had applications, and they were ready to help these people. So I didn't know that at first. So the one woman who works with the Port Authority asked them to come in, gave them all the information, set up appointments with them. So I see there's a commitment by the Port Authority to Elizabeth, which is going to bring a lot more jobs, as you made that clear, and an opportunity.
Well, Terminal 1 is going to replace Terminal A. And
Right, correct.
Wow.
Everybody thinks Newark Airport is all Newark, but half of it's in the city of Elizabeth.
Absolutely.
And the people that go there, if we can get them during layovers, as Jennifer was talking about, to come to Elizabeth,
Sure.
whether it be to dine. I mean, I was recently in Los Angeles, and we had a 3-hour layover that, because of weather, turned into a 7-hour layover. So we got out of the airport and went into somewhat of a part of Los Angeles to walk around, explore. Yeah. I mean, we need to get more people to do that here in Newark Airport, to come to, whether it be Jersey Gardens or.
Right.
And you guys are going to do that.
Oh, absolutely. That is the goal, to have these people, take them around, for them to be safe, which I'm sure we're going to do all of that, and to see all the great things. I mean, where are you going to go where you can get food from anywhere in South America, Chinese, Russian? We have everything here in Elizabeth, which is not too many people could say they have that.
Well, I've always said that. I said if I never became the mayor, I would have never ate empanadas or collard greens. And then I learned about how you have to cook them. I mean, collard greens are a delicacy if they're cooked right. Right?
You
You
absolutely
can ruin them too, right?
Depends on who the cook is.
There you go, Ron. That's what I heard. So I was like, and it's the same thing with empanadas and all the different kinds. I had lunch just the other day on Morris Avenue, a Colombian restaurant. It was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. But realistically, Elizabeth has always been like that, because I remember going into the Peterstown section, and there was amazing restaurants and delis there. Okay, if you went down toward like Frog Hollow area, I mean, the bakeries there were just amazing.
We still have the Lithuanian bakery.
Yeah, so there are so many places in Elizabeth, but now it just expanded.
I think Elizabeth's best kept secret around, especially with our schools, our mind. I mean, it's so much about Elizabeth now. You're making a big difference. You're making it. We're getting on the. But as you said, we're getting on the scene now. We're starting to be.
Well, this is a collective effort, Ron. This is not.
We're just trying. Well, you're the head of. You're the leader. They say follow the leader, right?
This is a great collective effort.
But this
I mean, Ron,
is awesome.
you spent your whole career in education and
Absolutely.
doing a great job.
Thank you.
In working with young kids in Newark.
love it.
And then you went to a charter school as well, right?
That's right. That's right.
You have it. You not only the Newark education system, but charter schools. So
Awesome, man.
you've seen some young kids have the opportunities to grow.
Absolutely. And that was a part of it.
You were a part of that, making that happen. Now you get to see some tourists.
Tourists, yeah.
So they're like kids, though, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, well, they knew, and especially when they see I'm 6'6", they look at me like, you're big. I said, yeah, but we got a big world out here, so we're going to see the world. So I enjoy it. I really do. I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah, I want to thank the two of you guys
Thank
for
you.
taking the time.
Sure.
Out of your schedule
Thank you.
to
It was a
come here
pleasure.
today.
Anytime, man.
I want to thank you for the ambassador stuff
Sure.
you're doing and promoting Elizabeth. I think it's great for the economy and great for our city. So thank you for your commitment.
I hope we represent you well.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For Mr. Ronald Orr and Mr. Javier Colon, please stay with us after these messages. We're going to talk about more about tourism and travel from the port by ferry.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city. For the third segment of the show, I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Fred Ardelino and Miss Amanda Brown from the Atlantis Charter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Fred, you haven't been on the show. Amanda, you haven't been on the show. So the first question I try to throw out there is tell me a little bit about yourself. And Fred, we'll go with you first.
Okay. Well, we operate a vessel called the Atlantis primarily out of New York and New Jersey, and for the purpose of a variety of events, from mostly corporate events, but weddings and anniversaries and bar and bat mitzvahs. We do a whole variety of event types. We've been doing that since 1989. So we've been around for a little while. And in the 1980s, we used to visit Port Elizabeth a lot when I had a boat called the Amberjack. So we would be here 2-3 times a week picking up events. The years went by, we sold that boat, built another boat. I had a couple of ferries, and now we're back into the dinner business for the last 11, 12 years. And the infrastructure here has changed so much that we'd like to come back.
Okay. And Amanda, you told me before the show you're the captain.
He's actually
I like it.
captain in command. I'm on board logistics, so I manage the business, everything from staff to the party planning aspects of it. So I'm one-on-one with the clients all the time, and we have a lot of clients that are interested in this area. So we're really happy to be back.
So you're on the cruise, actually.
I am on the cruise.
Whether it's a bar mitzvah, wedding, or you're on the cruise.
I
and
am running that cruise.
So Fred, the ability to do dinner cruises and the marketing for that, and Amanda just said you have clients from this area who want to do it. When do you think you'll start?
Well, as the approval is forthcoming, we'll begin marketing immediately. And we do have certain clients right now that are willing to commit, to do their events within the next.
So how big is the boat, Fred?
She's 150 feet.
Oh.
She has a total capacity of 400 people. Most times, though, we usually don't go over 250. That's more or less the comfort level. But for sightseeing or things like that, she can go. Our events are very well coordinated. Amanda is extremely good at that. As I said, most of our events are corporate. And your area, Port Elizabeth, seems to be a really beautiful town. The best dock in all of the city. I will tell you, your dock is the best.
That's good to know.
It's true.
So it's easy to get in and out.
It is. And so we've looked at your infrastructure, and we feel that it's something very positive and something we can move ahead with in the future. I like to think of public and private as a cooperative venture. And so as we get to know each other, you can depend on our help, and at time to time we'll need your help for things. So together, hopefully, we make.
Yeah, parking is an issue. I mean, we have the parking lot there, and we have police down there, so we got to make it a safe ride for everybody, and we want to work with you on that. So have you been in this business all the time, Amanda? Or?
I actually was a teacher prior to.
Oh, this is culture shock, huh?
It's kind of the same. There's some aspects of it that building relations with clients, you build relations with students. No, but I was actually doing both, and then the Atlantis became very, very busy, and it was just too much to keep up with. So at that time, Fred asked me if I wanted to stay on full time, and I did. This is something I'm really interested in. I love what I do, and it's busy. So we definitely need someone on the forefront with client relations. So now I'm here full time.
So Amanda, tell me, what kind of a crew would you have for a party, as Fred said, 250 people?
Fred's not happy about it, but we have a lot of staff on board.
Fred would like you to cut back a little bit on the overhead.
Our ratio is, we do very well with as for boats, we're very service driven. So for a sit-down dinner, we usually have a wait staff of 1 to 20, but in addition to that, I have a service staff, which they're in charge of the little details. They're kind of like my side army, making sure that the bathrooms are clean the entire event, making sure that the champagne is cold on the tables, just those little details. And then we also have our deckhands who participate in all the events on the boat, safety-wise, and they're helping us move guests up and down, taking pictures for people who are on the top deck, and they actually are a big part. So we have a staff of like 20 to 35, depending on the event.
Okay.
I'm glad you said Army.
Yeah, right. So, Fred, are you on the vessel at this time too?
Yes, I don't make every trip. I make most of them.
Okay. And where do you go? To Statue of Liberty? Is it up to the client, or is it kind of up to you?
Well, the client, unless they specify somewhere else, we have a sort of a prearranged route, but it could be modified at any moment. But the statue is always part of the agenda.
It's the highlight.
It's a highlight, right? And posing there for a few pictures is always a big deal. Some people never even get to see it, and it's the closest they'll get is by a vessel. So when you do this and you go out there, does everybody go to one side of the boat? Is that an issue with boats or something?
You would think, but a lot of people.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Stability, we're okay, but a lot of times when you're at the Statue of Liberty, right behind there, you have the whole skyline too on the other side. So you'll get half of your passengers taking pictures of the statue, and then half of them taking pictures of the skyline. So it actually works out well.
And what's the cruise usually? 4 hours? Is that?
Between 3 and 4 hours.
Yeah. I find that 4 hours is sometimes long. 3 hours is usually like perfect.
Depends on the menu, though. Also,
Oh,
the type of event.
never
If
thought of that.
you
Okay.
have a wedding, you need that. You actually need about 5 hours
5
in the
hours,
water.
right? Yeah, because you have to get through a whole thing, right? So, tell me about some fun events you've had.
Oh.
They're all fun.
They're all fun. We just had a luau the other day. It was a corporate event. That was a lot of fun. Everyone dressed, and it was there was a lot of limbo going on. It was fun. And then you have your corporate events are always the most interesting. Everybody, it's a time away from the office, and you get to be relaxed. But family events are always fun because it's a celebration and the family is happy, and it's nice to be a part of a joyous occasion in someone's life. And we have clients that are return clients. They keep in touch. I'm invited to barbecues. So it's nice. You get a personal touch with this type of business. We like to go the extra mile to see people smile, and they, sometimes we'll participate in a little dance. Mr. Fred is known to put on his
So you
dance
step out there once in a while, huh, Fred?
Yeah. We have a good time right along with the client.
So I look forward to this event. I mean, I think it's absolutely terrific. We do a Chamber of Commerce cruise every year that we've had a vessel come in, and so maybe this is going to help kick off some more events out there, and we want to work with you to make this a success. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Especially since the two of you came from Brooklyn.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to thank Fred and Amanda for being here. I want to thank Javier and Ron for being here, as well as Gordon and Jennifer for the first part of the show. And tourism in the city of Elizabeth is alive and well, and we're doing more and more things. And if your corporation is looking to do a dinner cruise, contact Amanda or Fred. And how would they get a hold of you, Amanda or Fred?
The City of Elizabeth Office of Tourism has all of our information. They have all of our packages and rates, but you can also directly contact us at our website is www.newyorkcruises.com.
We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.